Have you ever wondered when the first catwalk strut took place? Let's journey back in time to the dawn of modeling, a story that's as old as civilization itself. You see, the concept of modeling, of showcasing beauty and fashion, has been around since ancient times. In the sun-drenched lands of ancient Egypt, beauty was a form of power. Pharaohs and queens were often depicted in hieroglyphics and sculptures, adorned in extravagant clothing and jewelry. These were the first models, their images used to communicate ideals of beauty, wealth, and power. Fast forward to the Renaissance. Artists started using live models to create their masterpieces. These models, often ordinary people, were immortalized in the form of art. Their images spread far and wide. They were the influencers of their time, their faces shaping societal standards of beauty. Now let's take a leap into the 19th century, where the birth of haute couture in Paris brought about a new need: models to showcase these exquisite designs. Charles Frederick Worth, the father of haute couture, was among the first to use live models to present his collections. This marked the beginning of the profession we now know as modeling. As we entered the 20th century, with the boom of mass media and global communication, the modeling industry began to take the shape we recognize today. The first modeling agency was founded in the early 1900s, paving the way for a new era of professional models. The rise of fashion magazines like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar in the mid-20th century further propelled the industry, turning models into global icons. The evolution of modeling has always been intertwined with societal changes. As society evolved, so did the image of the ideal model, reflecting the zeitgeist of each era. From the curvaceous models of the Renaissance to the waif-like figures of the 90s, the modeling industry has been a mirror to society's ever-changing beauty standards. And thus, the foundation was laid for the glamorous world of modeling that we know today. This journey through time shows us that modeling is more than just a profession. It's a reflection of our society, a narrative of our history, and a testament to the enduring power and allure of beauty. And this, dear friends, is just the beginning. Why are models so thin? Is it a mere industry standard or something deeper? This question has been the subject of much debate in the world of fashion, and it's one that doesn't have a straightforward answer. Historically, the modeling industry has favored thin bodies. This ideal emerged in the mid-20th century, when the fashion world began to shift its focus from haute couture to ready-to-wear clothing. Thin models were thought to be the perfect hangers for these clothes, accentuating the lines and form of the garments rather than their own bodies. This preference for thinness has persisted, reinforced by the industry's gatekeepers, designers, photographers, and casting directors, among others. They often argue that clothes simply look better on thin bodies, a claim that is subjective at best and damaging at worst. The pressure to conform to these standards can have serious psychological and physical impacts on models. Many models develop eating disorders and struggle with body dissatisfaction and poor self-esteem. These issues are not confined to the fashion industry, however. They can trickle down to the wider society, shaping our perceptions of beauty and body image. Yet, it's important to remember that these standards are not universal. Different cultures and societies have different ideals of beauty. In recent years, there has been a growing call for more diversity and inclusivity in the fashion industry. Plus-size models are increasingly visible on the runways and in advertising campaigns, challenging the thin ideal and pushing for a more realistic representation of bodies. The debate about body image in the fashion industry is far from over. It's a complex issue that involves societal expectations, industry standards, and individual perceptions of beauty. It's a conversation that needs to continue, with models, industry professionals, and consumers all playing a part in shaping the future of fashion. So, the question remains, is it time for the fashion world to embrace diversity? The answer to that is a resounding yes. It's high time that we celebrate all bodies on the runway and beyond, ensuring that everyone feels represented and valued in the world of fashion. Ever wondered what a day in the life of a model looks like? It might surprise you to learn that it's not all champagne and red carpets. Picture this. It's sunrise, and while most of us are hitting snooze, a model's day is already in full swing. The first stop is often a casting call. Imagine walking into a room full of people who look just like you, all vying for the same job. It's a competitive environment, and rejection is part of the game. But don't let the term game fool you. This isn't a playful pastime, it's a business where you are both the product and the salesperson. Next up, fittings. Endless hours spent trying on outfits, standing still under the scrutinizing gaze of designers, stylists, and photographers. It's a dance, a careful choreography of fabric and form, and while the clothes might look glamorous on the outside, they're not always comfortable or easy to wear. Then, there's the photo shoot. It might sound like a dream job, posing in front of a camera, but it's both physically and mentally demanding. Holding a pose for what feels like an eternity, all while maintaining a certain expression, can be exhausting. And let's not forget about the business side of things. Negotiating contracts, managing finances, and maintaining a personal brand are all part and parcel of a model's life. It's not just about looking good, it's about being savvy, strategic, and smart. So, amidst the bright lights and beautiful clothes, there's also a lot of hard work, determination, and resilience. It's a world that demands perfection, yet is constantly changing. And for those who navigate it successfully, it's not just their beauty, but their strength that truly shines. Modeling, it seems, is not all glitz and glamour. But for those who love it, who thrive in it, there's no other world they'd rather be a part of. And that, my friends, is the real beauty of it all. Is modeling merely a job, or could it be considered an art form? Now that's a question worth pondering. To unravel this mystery, let's dive into the artistic elements inherent in modeling. Modeling, at its core, is a performance. Just like a ballet dancer or an actor, a model must master the art of movement and expression. They must know how to use their body as a canvas, to convey the essence of a designer's vision, to tell a story, to evoke an emotion. This requires finesse, grace, and a deep understanding of the human form. It's not just about looking good in a photograph or on a runway, it's about creating a moment, an image, a sensation that resonates with the viewer. Much like any other artist, a model is also part of a creative process. They collaborate with photographers, stylists, and designers to bring a concept to life. They contribute to the composition, the aesthetic, the mood of the final piece. Models are not just passive mannequins, they actively participate in the creation of art. But the artistry of modeling goes even deeper. Models express emotions and stories through their work. They can embody strength, vulnerability, joy, or melancholy. They can represent an idea, a culture, a movement. They become symbols, icons, muses. Through their poses, their expressions, their energy, they communicate messages that words often fail to capture. So, is modeling an art form? It would seem so. It involves performance, creativity, and expression. It requires skill, imagination, and emotional depth. It's not just about looking pretty or being fashionable. It's about inspiring, challenging, and moving people. It's about creating something beautiful, meaningful, and timeless. Indeed, modeling is a performance art that requires skill, creativity, and emotional depth. Could artificial intelligence be the next top model? It sounds like a plot straight out of a sci-fi novel. But the reality is that AI is already strutting its stuff on the fashion runway. This isn't your typical taffeta and tulle affair, though. We're talking about virtual models and automated styling, where the worlds of high fashion and high technology collide. The fashion industry has always been a trailblazer, pushing boundaries and setting trends, and now it's embracing AI like a long-lost friend. Virtual models, for instance, are no longer just figments of our imagination. They're here, they're fierce, and they're revolutionizing the way we perceive beauty. With a few clicks and keyboard strokes, designers can create models that defy human limitations, from gravity-defying hairstyles to impossibly perfect features. But these pixel-perfect beauties are not without their critics. While some laud their innovation and inclusivity, others argue that they perpetuate unrealistic beauty standards and undermine the human element of modeling. And then there's automated styling, the fashion industry's answer to our ever-busy, always-online lives. Imagine having a personal stylist who knows your wardrobe better than you do, can predict the latest trends before they hit the runway, and is available 24/7. That's the promise of AI in styling. But like any technology, it has its pitfalls. There are concerns about data privacy, the loss of jobs, and the homogenization of fashion. After all, what happens to personal style when algorithms call the shots? AI's role in the fashion industry is as complex and multifaceted as a sequined gown under the spotlight. It offers incredible potential, from democratizing fashion to tailoring personalized shopping experiences. But it also poses significant challenges, from ethical dilemmas to the risk of diminishing the human touch in an industry that thrives on emotion and expression. As we step into the future, the fusion of fashion and technology will undoubtedly redefine the modeling industry. But whether it's a revolution or just a new trend, only time will tell. For now, let's sit back, enjoy the show, and marvel at the wonders of AI on the runway.